What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team FISHKNUCKLES YouTube channel. Now, this is week number 2 of the Burning Shadows testing, and it'll be the last week before we get back to PTCGO. And I know a lot of people want to see the PTCGO and start seeing some games on there instead of the real-life testing, but PTCGO still doesn't have Burning Shadows cards, and those will come out Friday, and we should have some stuff come out immediately on the Saturday. Now, if you watched the videos earlier, you know this is going to be a Mega Rayquaza versus a Metagross GX deck. Now, right now we're trying to figure out how to make a GX markers because at the time we only had one GX marker, and I was like, wait, I don't even have to attack with GX stuff. But it turns out I do have a Mew in there, and Mew can copy the GX attacks if we wanted to. So that could be a thing. We actually might need a GX marker for that. Alright, so see, coin flip, it's Tails, and I'm not sure who is going first, if it's Kenton or me. All these matches are going to be Kenton versus me. We had nobody else to join us this weekend, but we'll see. So, it looks like I started, unfortunately, with the Tapu Lele. I'm not sure what Kenton has, but as long as Kenton gets a turn 1 Bridget to get down multiple Beldums and stuff like that, he's good to go. So we see a Metal Energy on the active, and does he find that Bridget? Yep, just has Bridget in the hand, doesn't even need a Tapu Lele. We're going to see Bridget find 2 Beldums and a Vulpix. And this is sped up 2 times speed. We'll try this week, and then guys, you let me know which one's better, last week or this week, having the regular speed or the 2 times speed. I know the 2 times speed, it's faster, but you see less. I can't really tell by the cards as long. So in my hand we have a Mallow, we have a Hax Maniac. I can Hax and make where Kenton can't win next turn, but then if I don't top deck anything, I still lose. And with the Mallow, I could put 82 cards on top of my deck. So I wonder what I decided to go here. You see me debating for a second. It looks like I am going to go for the Mallow. I just need a guaranteed card next turn. And Kenton, he can win next turn. You see immediately I just put the Hoopa on top of my deck. I think that's what it is. I think I grabbed a Hoopa on top deck. Maybe an Ultra Ball to discard 2 cards to grab a Hoopa. That's not a bad play either. I'm not sure what 2 cards they are. I got a couple in hand, so I really can't do too much, and we're going to put that on top of the deck and see. We'll see pass on to Kenton's turn. Alright, so Kenton's going to draw a card, and does he have Rare Candy Metagross, Energy Attachment. We see Sycamore discarding 2 Rare Candies, which is a good thing if you're a fan of Mega Rayquaza, because Kenton does not need to take a game this turn, and discarding 2 Rare Candies, you got to think it's going to be kind of hard for him to get 2 Rare Candy Metagrosses, but we see a Vulpix coming up. He's going to use that beacon ability, the beacon attack, and search out maybe a Metagross and a Metang. So we see a Metagross coming out, and a Metang. This means that next turn Kenton can evolve, and he might be able to win next turn. I don't think he can really. So there we see a Hoopa, and I think this was a misplay. I think I should have put an Ultra Ball on top of my deck to grab a Hoopa, and I would have drawn more cards with the Shaman I'm about to put down. That's a thing right there that I just realized right after playing these games. Yeah, I definitely should have put an Ultra Ball on top, because right now we're still not in the best spot. We have a Mega Rayquaza, we have a Psychic Energy, we have a Lysander, Hax, and a VS Seeker, so really can't do too much. But I guess with the Mallow in our discard pile, we can VS Seeker for Mallow and be able to hit 2 key cards that we really, really need. So that's a good thing for sure. So we'll see a VS Seeker for Mallow. Going to put 82 cards on top of my deck. And I imagine one of them is going to be a Spirit Link and an Ultra Ball. That's what I would grab thinking about it right now. You get Spirit Link, Mega Evolve, and then we see Ultra Ball and an Ultra Ball and Spirit Link going down, which we'll put down the Latios, we'll put down the Rayquaza, Shaman set up, and then can we get a knockout? Can we get set up to take full control of this game? Alrighty. But I think, like I said, the thing I should have did earlier with the Mallow was Ultra Ball, or put an Ultra Ball on top and then grab the Hoopa with that way, so that way we could draw more cards with the Shaman. So we see Shaman just setting up for 2, but those 2 cards are very good. We see a Rayquaza, Spirit Link, we got an Ultra Ball, we get this card a Lysander and a Psychic Energy, and this is going to find us another Shaman, but our bench is going to be full, so we need to hit a Skyfield to continue the bench party. If we do not, we are going to be in trouble. Now, what are key cards that we need to find here? Well, a DC and a Mega Turbo will get us a knockout on this Vulpix and put us in good shape. So we see Shaman setting up for 5, and I see a Flowstone, I see a Spirit Link, but I do not see a Skyfield. I don't see another supporter card, and this is where we have problems now. Oh boy, because we have a Flowstone in hand, but we need somebody to get knocked out, and so we're going to pass. A Metagross immediately come down, Metang coming down. We have a Metal Energy to that Metagross. And if he can get a Rare Candy Metagross, he will be able to take a knockout here. He can use his double Metagross abilities. Put one Metal Energy in the active, retreat, use it again, put a Metal Energy in the active, and take a knockout. And even if he doesn't take a knockout here, he can just Beacon to search for two, for like a Metagross and a Metang, and still get set up and just be like, whatever, I'm just going to take my time. And there's a Guzma coming up. Now with the Guzma, he can bring up somebody to take a knockout, or he can start putting pressure on this Mega Rayquaza. He has to two-shot this Mega Rayquaza. He can only do 150, 180, maybe 200, but he cannot do the full amount of damage to knock out a Mega Ray. He'll have to two-shot it, and that's why he's going to bring it up with this Guzma. So we'll see its ability, attachment, a Choice Band. Sorry, I know I say Silver Wrangle sometimes, and I do apologize for that. I'm so used to saying Silver Wrangle, but it's a Choice Band. So we'll see a Choice Band attached, and we'll see 180 damage. Alright, so on to my turn. Well, if you notice, we have a ton of Pokemon in hand. We got a Hax Maniac, so we can Hax this turn. And we can pass. No on a Kitten's turn. He's going to get another Metagross. He cannot use his ability. He does not have any. He's been Hax Maniac, so he can't use that. But what he can use is Algorithm. Metagross doesn't say you can't attack again next turn, you just can't use that attack. So we see a Metal Energy be attached to Metagross, we see another Beldum coming down, and I imagine we're going to see an Algorithm GX to search for 5 cards and put that in his hand. Now if you notice my hand is just full of Pokemon, we just need to find a Skyfield so we can start getting set up, and this is what sometimes happens with Mega Ray. You just brick, you don't find a Skyfield. I mean, if we had a Skyfield or Skyla or Mallow, we'll be in good shape. But unfortunately, we cannot find any of that. And we see an Algorithm. We see Ken reading the card. There's me reading the card as well. You cannot use Giga Hammer. I think it's called Giga Hammer. I can't remember the exact name of Metagross GX. I apologize. Kenton was the one playing it, so I really didn't look at the name too much, but I know that the GX ability is called Algorithm, because that's a really cool name to say. Algorithm GX, that's a really cool name. But lets you search for 5 cards and put that in his hand. As you see, one of them is a Rare Candy, so he'll be able to get a Rare Candy and Metagross off, maybe another Rare Candy Metagross, get 4 Metagrosses out, unless he has one prized. Okay, he's just searching out, just make sure he grabs you right 5 cards, and the only way I can really deal with this if I find an in. That's the only way. If I do not find it in, he's going to keep those 5 cards in his hand. Going to draw, and we got an Ultra Ball. Still nothing useful. We got a bunch of Pokemon, an Ultra Ball, a Spirit Link, and another pass on to Kitten's turn. Alright, so Kitten will get that Rare Candy Metagross. We'll see a Metal Energy attachment to the new Metagross. And there you see my hand. Ultra Ball, Flowstone, Spirit Link, Rayquaza, Shaman, Lele, and Hoopa. If only we had a Skyfield, we'd have a really good hand, but Kenton will take a knockout. Now we have a free bench spot, but what do we do with this bench spot? We can only put 1 Pokemon down. Alright, so we see Flowstone going to the active, we see Ultra Ball going to discard a Psychic Energy. You can see I'm kind of debating, so we're going to Lele here, and with the Lele, we just need to find an in. If we play it in, we're good to go. But there we see Skyla, and I guess Skyla works as well. Skyla grabs the Skyfield. Gonna be able to put a bunch of Pokemon down. And here we go. The time to party is now. So we're gonna rearrange our bench because it's gonna get full here in a second. So we're gonna see Hoopa use that Scoundering. And now that I think about it, I should have just Ultra Balled the Hoopa away, because we already had everything that we really needed in our hand. We're gonna look through our deck and see what is in there. And you're going to immediately notice there's a problem, because we're grabbing Dragonite. This means that the other 2 Rayquazas are prized. We've only had 1 come out, so we have to pull up, get a Rayquaza out. And I did not check to see how many Rayquazas were left in deck, but now we have 8 bench spots. And this is where we're going to have another issue, because now, what do we do? We're gonna evolve, and then that's our bench, and we can't do anything. So we get to see a Spirit Link, we see a Mega Ray, we see a Psychic Energy to the Tapu Lele, we'll retreat. And we'll Energy Drive for 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And hey, I mean, 100 is better than nothing, right? At least we're putting some kind of pressure on this Metagross. It's not affected by weakness or resistance, so that's why it does hit for the full 100 damage. Now, Kenton, what he can do is just retreat and use multiple, man, I don't know why I can't remember Metagross' stuff, but use his ability, put a Metal Energy to the active, and be good to go. And, yeah. we can just retreat, go for Metagross, and just take a knockout this turn. He does have a choice band on that bench Metagross on the right side, so he can just promote that. And you can see Kitten, he's like, I really just want to swap the damage counters because it's not going to matter, but we're going to make him swap and use his abilities and get the other Metagross GX powered up and ready to go. So there we see its abilities go into the active. We'll see a knockout do 180 damage thanks to the choice band. And Kitten go down to 2 prize cards. So we see Max Potion Heal and the damage of that Metagross, which is pretty relevant, especially since Metagross has 250 HP. And Rayquaza only swings for 240 unless you find a Kukui. So Metagross, yeah, it is Giga Hammer, and it's Geotech System. Such a weird ability name. But we see Kitten does get a 4th Metagross down, and he is good to go. He's got 4 Geotech Systems, and he's going to be going crazy these games. So we'll see a knockout. He'll go down to 2 prize cards. We find a Lysander. We have a Shaman in hand, so we can Shaman set it for a couple. We found a VS Seeker and a Sycamore. We found a DCE. So we had to put a DCE. We actually don't even take a knockout here on this Metagross. Yeah, we can go for DC on the Mega Ray and swing, but we don't have an end to disrupt his hand with the VS Seeker. We don't have a Kukui, so we can't take a knockout. So our only option is a Sycamore, and I don't even think that's good. It looks like Kitten will take this game if he has a Lysander or a Guzma. Either one will allow him to take the game. So we see a VS Seeker, maybe grabbing Hex. And I think that's what we did there. We just Hex, and there we see a Guzma Kenton's hand. And I'm like, Kenton, you can't win right now unless you have energy in your hand. He's like, oh man, that's right. He has the Metal Energy. He's going to attach it to the Vulpix and Guzma to the Vulpix because he can't use the Geotech System because he has been Hexed. And there's my hand. And there's, if we played Sycamore, we would have hit a Mega Turbo, but still not an end. Oh man, that means if we played Kukui, we would have took it a knockout, but we had 2 Rayquaza prize, but this is best 2 out of 3, and so we're going to see what happens in game number 2. Hopefully Rayquaza does not hit that brick again, just hitting all those Pokemon, but no Skyfield, which is very unfortunate. I think I could have played a little bit better. Like I said, when I mallowed the first turn, I should have put an Ultra Ball on top of the deck, not the Hoopa, because with the Ultra Ball, we could have played our hand a little bit more down, and then Shaman for more, and then played maybe some more stuff, and then been okay. I don't know. But on to game number 2, we're going to see what happens, guys, and which one do you want to see win? Do you want the Metagross or the Mega Ray player to win? I personally love Mega Ray, that's why I'm playing, and Kenton, he does love Metagross after playing this match, so it's really cool they're playing 2 decks that we like to play. So, both players are going to set up, find 7 new cards, and we see in my hand, we have a Latios. Now, with Latios, we could potentially take a knockout, but he starts with Tapu Lele. We can't use the Fast Ray for the knockout, because, Fast Ray does allow you to attack turn 1. And our hand is looking pretty good. We have an Ultra Ball, we got a Skyfield, we got a Spirit Leak, we got a Mega Ray. We have everything that we really need in this game right now. So you see, just debating, there's our Rayquaza, okay. We got Ultra Ball, discarding the Mega Ray and the VS Seeker. Now the scary thing about doing this is our deck doesn't play Super Rod or any way to get back these. Oh wait, we do play Brock Skirt, so you can Brock Skirt. But there we see a Hoopa, gonna use the... its ability, Wonder Tag? No, it's not Wonder Tag. Why can't I remember what it's called right now? To search for 3 EX Pokemon. I can't remember. Why do I know its attack name? Its attack name is Hyperspace Fury, but I can't remember its... Oh my goodness, guys. I'm being so forgetful right now. But we see Hoopa. Going to search for 3 EXs, and that's a key thing to note with this Hoopa. You cannot grab Tapu Lele because it is a GX, not an EX, so make sure you always keep that in mind while playing Mega Ray. But we'll see a Shaman, a Rayquaza, and a Mega Ray coming out to play. We do have a Spirit Link hit and a Skyfield. Alright, and I imagine we'll see the Skyfield come down. We both know each player's decks. It's really not too bad for us to put Skyfield down. Yeah, so we're going to put Skyfield on a Shaman. Because Kenneth doesn't play any counter stadium, so it's pretty much going to stay there. We got a DCE. We could put that on the Rayquaza. We get retreat to the Rayquaza. And maybe let the Rayquaza take a hit from an energy drive. But I don't want our I don't think I want our Latios to get Field Blower. So there we see a Tapu Lele for Hex, which the cool thing you do with these kind of Mega Ray decks is you can like turn 1 Lele for a Hex, make your opponent in a bad situation because they can't use their own Lele. But there we see Shaman setting up for more cards. We find a Mega Ray as well, so we can like we have Flowstone in hand, so we can just Hex and Mega Evolve to end our turn. And turn 1, we have 2 Mega Rays, DCE, and a full bench. So you see Kenton put a Metal Energy in the active. We'll see Field Blower, get rid of Skyfield and the Floodstone. I have to discard a Pokemon. I'm going to discard the Hoopa. It is a kind of a Lysander target. And there we see Kenton playing a Sycamore. And it looks like he discards 2 Metagross GXs. Oh man, that is nasty. So Kenton going to put down a Beldum. Does he find a Vulpix? Oh man, if he doesn't find a Vulpix, it'll be kind of a weird situation. Does he leave the Tapu Lele in the active spot to take a knockout? Or does he retreat to Beldum to not give up 2 prize cards? So, we see a pass on our turn. We'll put a Floodstone on the active. Kenton saying, oh my goodness, you only play 2 of those and you hit him both. That's insane. So, gonna play in here. Gonna give us both 6 new cards. And what we need to find is a Skyfield and 1 more Pokemon. If we do this, we'll be able to take a knockout with our Ember Break, do 180 damage because it does 30 times the amount of number of bench Pokemon, which right now we have 5, which is 150. But with the Skyfield, you can put 1 more Pokemon down, and 1 more Pokemon is a knockout. So there's a Skyfield come down. We see a DCE being attached, and unfortunately, the DCE not a Psychic Energy, because we really want to save these DCs for the Mega Rays, but right now we're doing fine. And there's the Lele for Kukui saying, hey, if you Rare Candy Metagross, I am taking a knockout next turn. Might as well use the Lele while we can. Retreat to Mega Ray and just blow it up for the knockout. Okay, so on to Kent's turn. Does he have the Rare Candy Metagross? And if he does, he needs to find a way to disrupt our hand, because we do have a Kukui, which doesn't take a immediate knockout right now, but we are threatening Kenton for sure. So you see Kenton Ultra Ball discarding a Guzma and a Psychic Energy. We might see a Lele come down, and I wonder, okay, he's gonna grab a Sycamore, or does he grab an N? You see he's debating right now, so he is gonna grab an N, which does a couple things. It gets the Kukui out of our hand, and puts us down to the lower hand size. We did have a ton of cards, but we didn't have the Pokemon in our hand that we needed to take a knockout. We do need to find 2 more Pokemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so 2 more Pokemon, which allows us to do 240. But with the Kukui, you can do 260, which knocks out a Metagross. So, as you see in my hand, I did hit the 1 Kukui back in our hand, and it looks like Mega Ray will take a knockout on this Metagross as long as we find multiple Pokemon. And I think I saw a Dragonite in my hand. As you see, I'm looking through my discard pile, trying to see what I want to grab with this Dragonite. So Kenton, he's going to Ultra Ball, discard the Lysander and Bridget. And with this, we'll probably see another Beldum come down, and he's going to use that Algorithm GX, I imagine we're going to see. So we see a Geotech system to get a Metal Energy at the discard pile to his active. And here we see the Algorithm to search for 5 cards. You use Algorithms both games, which is really good if you're a fan of the Metagross GX deck. Now with this, I imagine we're going to see like Rare Candy Metagross, but remember, he did discard 2 Metagrosses, so he might have them, might be run out, but he does play Stretcher, so he can get 1 out that way. That's the thing he can do for sure. But, yep, there's his 5 cards, and we're going to be able to take a knockout this turn. So, Kenton, he better have the best hand ever after this Algorithm, like double Rare Candy Metagross and Energy, be able to swing. But even when he swings on this Mega Ray, he's not taking a knockout because he only does 150. Mega Ray has way more HP than that, and you can see him kind of like, oh, man, what do I do here? Maybe his prizes are really bad. I'm not 100. I can't remember this game, even though I just recorded it yesterday. So, Psychic Energy to the bench. We will see a Dragonite using that pull-up ability to get 2 base Pokemon out of your discard pile. You can't grab Dragonite. You're going to see, I'm going to see you immediately read the Dragonite. Like, nope, you can't do that. So we're going to grab an Unknown and a Hoopa. And imagine we just put down the Unknown, play the Kukui, taking a knockout, and yep, there we go. Find another Unknown as well. And we will Emerald Break for the knockout, going down to 2 prize cards. Alright, on to Ken's turn. He needs the craziest thing we've seen. We need double Rare Candy Metagross. He needs a Metal Energy, double Geotech System to the active. So, but nope, puts down a Metang. And that is not going to be game straight away unless we find a Guzma, a Lysander, or another Kukui. So, Metal Energy to the active through its ability. We can see attachment. He's got to use it in this turn. He's got to end this down to 2. And let's hope we don't find a Guzma or a Lysander. But even if we don't, we'll be able to swing it to this Metagross for 240 HP. It doesn't take a knockout immediately, but it definitely sets up something. But Kenton does play those max potions. And there we see in. Gonna put both of us down to a couple. And I was showing the kids that I didn't have the answer just yet. And nope, we wouldn't have the answer straight away. I guess, well, it depends. Yeah, we wouldn't have had the answer. He was showing me, he was like, did you have the win? And I was like, nope, I had double unknown, but then still would have whiffed it. So didn't have the game straight away. So the end kind of hurts Kitten, but Kitten, you know, he has to play smart. He has to end us to put us down to 2. We had like 7 cards in hand. But no, time to see what do we find now. Both players will find some cards. And what does Kitten find here? There's a choice band going to the active. Okay. And we'll see pass onto my turn. So, unfortunately, he gave us a Lysander off the end to 2. Oh, man. Every time Kitten ended us, we had everything we wanted. And as you see, Kitten did have a stretcher prized and 2 rare candies. So, really, really bad prizes for Kitten, especially since he did discard those 2 Metagrosses turn 1, and he was not able to get those guys back. But this is best 2 out of 3. Kitten won game 2, or game 1. I won game 2, so Kitten is going to go first. But can Mega Ray be Mega Ray and do everything it wants to turn 1? Can it find a full bench? Mega Ray take a knockout. It doesn't need a full bench. It just needs like 3 Pokemon, and it can essentially knock out all the Beldums and Vulpixes, or 6, and knock out a Tapu Lele if he starts with that. So, we're going to find out here in a second how can Mega Ray be a Mega Ray deck and do what it needs to do. And, alright, so we start with Dragonite and Shaman and Unknown. So, this is not a good hand if you're a fan of Mega Ray. I didn't see Kitten's hand at all. So, here we go, guys. Set up game number 3, and we will see what happens. So, Kitten does start with the Beldum. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have a Latios. Oh, man. No Latios dunk for the... Not Latios dunk, but Latios knockout. That's always something cool to see if you like the Latios version of the Mega Ray. So, we'll see the Lele. Probably going to grab a Bridget just to search for 3 Pokemon. Or maybe a supporter card if he doesn't have another supporter card in his hand. Grabbing the Bridget turn 1 is always great. But if you don't have another supporter card in your hand, you're going to be in trouble. But it looks like he does have another supporter card in hand, so he's just going to bridge it. Search for 2 Beldums and a Vulpix. Beacon is a fantastic attack, but he hasn't started with it any of these games, which is very unfortunate. And we'll see a pass onto my turn. So my turn, we're going to draw a card. We did find a Guzma, which is not going to help us. We found a Skyfield, and we found a Shaman and a DCE. It just hand's not good. So set up for 2. Finding an Ultra Ball, and Ultra Ball is nice for us. So we discarded a Mega Ray and a Guzma. Once again, the scary thing is that we discarded a Mega Ray, not knowing how many are in our deck. We do have a DCE in our hand. I'm not sure what that far left card is. It's 2 DCEs, which I never want to get rid of DCEs, which I don't know. I don't know which was better. So see a Rayquaza, Shaman, and we'll see what else comes down. Maybe the Mew, maybe a Latios, but we're going to commit a DC to this Rayquaza this turn, most likely, and another Rayquaza will come down. So 2 Rayquazas and a Shaman coming online. Okay, we do have a Skyfield, so we can like double Rayquaza, DCE, Shaman, draw a bunch of stuff, the Unknown, draw another card. Hopefully we find it in and keep the party going. So we'll see a Ray, DC Ray, Shaman setting up. Alrighty, we see a Lysander, Skyla, and a Psychic Energy. So with the Skyla, what we can do is maybe grab a Mallow. Yeah, that could be a thing. We get Skyla for an Ultra Ball. Maybe get a Mega Ray out this turn. But we don't have another supporter card in hand. So it looks like we're maybe Unknown first. And just see what do we find with the Unknown. Maybe it's a card we need. But we could just Skyla. And just Skyla for Mallow. The next turn hit the card we need. There's a couple of different ways we could play this out. So we're going to see a Skyla, and I think I'm going to go for the Mallow here, if I remember correctly. No, we're going to grab an Ultra Ball, okay? And with the Ultra Ball, we keep the party going. We get Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards from our hand. We discard a Psychic Energy and a Mega Turbo. Definitely should discard the Lysander. So yeah, going to discard the Lysander, okay? Now we could grab Mega Ray here, just end our turn, but looks like we're going to grab a Hoopa. I'd rather just grab a Shaman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you see myself count 2, 3, 6, 7, and with the Hoopa, we're going to grab just a Shaman. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to thin my deck out more. I want to grab the Hoopa to thin one less card, grab a Shaman, and be able to set up. We just got to find a Mega Ray this turn and be good to go. So, I mean, we have a crazy hand right now. We have no Floatstone, no Spirit Link. We do have 1 Mega Ray in the discard pile. And we are going to Shaman set up for a couple. It looks like 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a Mew, a Lele, And we do have a farewell letter that we can use with the unknown. You draw another card, or we can just wait. But it looks like I'm going to farewell letter and still not hit the Mega Ray or an Ultra Ball. Alright, so guess we'll have to pass it to Ken's turn. Okay, so Kenton will draw a card. There's a rare candy Metagross. And I guess one thing I could have done was have grabbed a Mega Rayquaza with that Hoopa. And have just ended my turn and then set up the following turn. That's one mistake. I think one difference I could have done. But we see that Kenton does find a rare candy Metagross, and looks like Kenton doesn't have a good hand. He's kind of just beaten. He was kind of like showing his hand, like, oh, I don't have anything really. But I think he's looking fine here. He's got an Ultra Ball, discard a Kikui, and a Tapu Lele. Finding another Bronzor. If he has an energy, he gets to retreat, go for a Vulpix and Beacon, and nope, just going to pass. And we do have a Lele in our hand. There's a DCE coming down. We see a Lele, going to use that Wonder Tag, going to find a supporter card. And I wonder what supporter card we're going to go for. There's an N that we can use. So yeah, we're going to use the N, shuffle up, and get 6 new cards. And we just need to find a Flowstone, a Mega Ray, and a Link, and a Mega Turbo. You know, just a lot of stuff we need to try to get set up. But we are slowly getting set up, but so is Kenton. Kenton has a Metang, a Metagross, and 2 Beldums. He can start swinging next turn, potentially, if he finds another Metagross. And both players are going to find 6 new cards. Alright, so we find a Psychic Energy, a Spirit Link. But once again, we're in a situation where we have a full bench and no supporter card. So that's always bad when you're Mega Ray, because you need more bench spot because you need to play more Pokemon down. Okay, so we'll see if Kenton is, if he has a Field Blower, that'd be really good. Let's Field Blower stuff away. So we see a Metagross coming down, a Metang coming online. We might see a retreat into a Vulpix, maybe use Beacon, but he has no Metal Energies in discard pile. So Kenton is just whiffing on energies while we're whiffing on Pokemon. So let's see, Kenton is going to put. Let's see, what does Kenton do here? We're going to see a Ultra Ball discard a double Metal Energy. Okay, so 2 Metal Energies being discarded, okay. Does he have a Metagross in hand? If he does, he could break any Metagross double Geotech system to the active and attach return. That'd be really nice. But what does he grab with the Ultra Ball? Is he just not going to grab anything? It looks like, yeah, he doesn't grab anything. And we see a VS Seeker for a Sycamore discarding the Guzma. I'm pretty sure that's what just happened there. And just wants to discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. And like I said, he can Beacon this turn. That's the thing he can always do. I mean, our hand is not good at all. And here we see Sycamore going to draw 7 new cards. Okay. So we see a Metal Energy go to the, that guy. We see a Metal Energy active with the Geotech system, sending the Vulpix, and we're going to see a Beacon, probably finding a Metagross and a Metang, and there we see a Choice Band coming down, so Metagross, and oh, double Metagross coming down, oh boy, does he have a rare candy in hand? There's a VS Seeker, so we can VS Seeker for another N, or we can VS Seeker for Skyla. But no, I'm going to end here. Okay, so with this end, we need to find a Flowstone and a Mega Ray. If we do, we'll be able to take a knockout and start going somewhere. We'll be able to start doing something, but that is what we need to find. We did get rid of both Kenton's Metagross GXs, which you got to think if you grab both of those, he had a rare candy in his hand to be good to go. And nope, well, our hand is not full of anything, so we'll just have to pass on to Ken's turn. Just not having anything. We do have 1 Mega Ray in the discard pile and 2 Ultra Balls, but not hitting any of those is pretty crazy. So we see Energy Attachment, we see a VS Seeker. I'm gonna grab a Guzma to bring up that Mega Ray while switch on as active. We'll see a Geotech Systems to the active. And we'll see a Giga Hammer for the knockout doing 180 thanks to that Choice Band. And Kenton will go down to 4 prize cards. He takes our only real attacker. Now, we're going to send in the Shaman, okay? And with the Shaman, it might seem kind of weird, but what we could do is we could put a DC on it and Sky Return, because that's what we really need to find. Okay, so there's a DCE, but still, we do not find a Mega Ray. Oh, man. So we're going to see Sky Return into the unknown, and this makes it where Mega Ray can take a knockout next turn. I almost had a Choice Spin on it. No, it's just 30. It's just 30. So now Kenton, he's in a weird spot. He can knock out the active unknown, or he can just, like, algorithm. he has an algorithm in this game, and we've seen him algorithm both games so far. So we see Ultra Ball discarding, I think, a Hex, maybe? I can't tell what that card was, and an N. I know for sure that's N, but not sure what the other card is. So we see a Metagross coming down. Does he have Rare Candy? Yep, Rare Candy Metagross. He has 3 of those guys online now. He's looking good. We see a Lysander bringing up the Rayquaza, and we are in trouble now. So we'll see a retreat into the Metagross with the Choice Band on it. We'll see multiple Geotech systems to the active. He can use that 3 times. And attachment to turn to the bench. And we'll see a knockout going down to 2 prize cards. And we're slowly losing this game now. Oh, man. So we're going to set up the Shaman. Going to draw a Skyfield. We do have a Rayquaza. We can put that guy down. We could put a DC on the Shaman. A Sky Return. Oh boy, we are in trouble. Alright, so where do we go from here? It's just, we just could unfortunately find a Mega Ray. I think the big turn that I misplayed was when I didn't grab a Mega Ray with that Hoopa, the second Hoopa. When I just grabbed a Shaman, I should have grabbed Shaman and a Mega Ray. But definitely, I wanted to draw more cards, which is what my thinking was behind that. So we see a DCC active, a Rayquaza coming down, and we're going to see a VS Seeker 4N. Both players will shuffle up and get some new cards. Now, what we're probably going to do is just Sky Return to the Unknown, just saying, hey, don't win next turn. And the only way you can prevent him from winning is sitting at the Unknown, because it's not an EX Pokemon or a GX, so you can't take 2 prize cards off it. So, but does Kenton find a Lysander or Guzma? There he has multiple outs, or a VS Seeker, and yeah. So here we go. We're gonna draw 6 new cards, and we're gonna see what happens. I guess just look through my discard pile, see what's all in there. But with these 6 new cards, can we find a Link and a Mega Ray this turn? All right, so here we go. Draw 6 new cards. There's a Mega Ray and a Link, so we finally found everything we need. So Mega Ray, Link, Mega Turbo. We're good to go. If we have promoted the Mega Ray, we could have swung this turn, but they receive Sky Return for 30 on a Kent's turn. Does he have a VS Seeker? And there's a Max Potion. He'll have his energy off. And there's a Guzma. Going to send Metagross, and he's going to take the game. So there you go, guys. Metagross will take down the Mega Rayquaza deck. Unfortunately, did not hit everything we need in game 1 and 3, but game 2, when we went crazy, Kendon didn't really get set up either. So it's definitely neither one was a back and forth game. It was kind of just like a slaughter of one side on the other. But guys, there we go. There's day number 1 of Burning Shadows testing, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any suggestions, but like I said, this is the last week of real life testing. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a fantastic Monday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.